What's the matter with Henry? It was the end of a busy day, and Bill and Ben had been working hard. They were feeling pleased and proud. Except Henry. He was feeling ill. "What's the matter with you, Henry?" asked Bill. "My boiler's grumbling," moaned Henry. "Maybe it's grumbling at you," teased Ben. "That's not funny," hissed Henry. "You just don't care." But Emily saw that Henry was leaving a puddle of water behind. She was worried. The next morning the Fat Controller arrived. "Bill, Ben, and Henry, I want you to collect some trucks from the shunting yard and take them to the quarry." "Yes, sir," cried Bill and Ben. Henry watched the twins puff away. He didn't feel well. "Useful engines don't complain," Henry muttered. He was leaving water everywhere as he chuffed towards the shunting yard. When Emily saw this, she was more worried than ever. Then Bill and Ben overtook Henry. "Hurry up, Henry!" Bill tooted. "I can't go any faster," Henry chuffed miserably. "You're just being lazy," teased Ben. By the time Bill and Ben reached the shunting yards to collect some trucks, they had a naughty plan. "Please, sir," said Bill, "Henry wants to take more trucks." "He is bigger," added Ben. The yard manager wasn't so sure, but decided to agree. Emily heard this close by, and she was surprised. The twins then left the yards, so Emily followed them quietly behind. Later, Henry arrived at the shunting yards and was surprised by the long line of trucks. "Why did Bill and Ben leave me so many trucks?" moaned Henry. "They must know I'm not feeling well." "We'll still have to take them," said his driver. Henry chuffed and puffed and pulled his long line of trucks. "You can do it, Henry," encouraged his driver. But it was no use. Henry grounded to a halt. The twins were at the quarry and were pleased with their plan. "Old Square Wheels might get the trucks delivered on time here, eh, Ben?" Bill said sarcastically. "I don't think so," Ben laughed. "Neither do I," laughed Bill. Then, suddenly, Emily cruised quietly between the twins and said, "You wouldn't be making fun of Henry now, would you?" Emily asked. Bill and Ben tried faking their actions. "Definitely not," answered Bill. "We would never do such a thing," protested Ben. "Then why did I see you two asking the yard manager to leave Henry so many trucks?" Um, uh, quivered Bill and Ben. They tried fooling Emily. The yard manager told us to leave those trucks," said Ben. "Just tell me the truth," ordered Emily furiously. "Okay," barked Bill, deciding to give up the truth. "We did shut those trucks for Henry. We thought it would be a laugh. We thought he was just being lazy." Emily was not pleased. "Henry's tubes are leaking, they are, which is why he's feeling ill. You two should be ashamed of yourselves." Bill and Ben felt very ashamed. Then the quarrymaster arrived. "Henry hasn't arrived yet. I think he's broken down. Can you go and check on him, Emily?" Emily thought for a moment. I think Bill and Ben should go and check on him." "Why us?" Ben protested. "Because of what you did earlier," Emily reminded. Bill and Ben had no choice. So they went to check on Henry. When the twins found Henry, they felt very bad. "Are you all right, Henry?" asked Bill. "No," moaned Henry. "I'm stuck." Bill and Ben felt very apologetic for their naughtiness and decided to help. They then changed tracks and buffered up behind Henry. "Are you ready, Henry?" asked the twins. "Yes, I am," replied Henry sadly. Bill and Ben pushed both Henry and the trucks all the way to the quarry with all of their might. When they arrived at the quarry, the Fat Controller was waiting for them. "Well done, Emily," he said to Emily. "Thank you for telling me everything." Then he turned to Henry. "You were brave, Henry. You weren't well, but you still tried to pull the heavy trucks." Then the Fat Controller walked to Bill and Ben. "You two have been very irresponsible," he said sternly. "You two need to know the facts of others if they are not themselves. And I think you two owe Henry an apology." "Yes, sir. Sorry, sir," replied Bill and Ben sadly. After the Fat Controller had left, Bill and Ben rolled up to Henry, who was now having his leaking tubes being mended. "We're sorry, Henry," said Bill. "We didn't think you were really sick," added Ben. "That's all right," replied Henry. "But I must say, though," said Bill with an impressed smile, "you were very brave to pull those long line of trucks despite your illness." Henry looked up and smiled. "I guess I was then," said Henry happily. And the three engines soon became all good friends. Soon Henry was mended and back at work. "You're looking so much better, Henry," said Bill. "Well, they mended me tubes, but they didn't even look at me brakes, me gauges, me squeaky wheels." Bill and Ben smiled. "All in good time, Henry," said Ben. "Poor Henry."